following segment is sponsored by Springfield Clinic.
Joining us this Wellness Wednesday is Dr. John Belz of Springfield Clinic Pediatrics. And today we're talking about school tips for staying healthy. John, it's that time of the year again. And as everyone's back in school and now as the weather's starting to turn, what are some great tips you can give for parents to keep the kids safe during cold and flu season?
Yeah, so the most important thing is going to be prevention. Obviously, when people get viruses, you kind of have to let the symptoms run their course. So the best way is to try and not get it. And the main thing is going to be hand hygiene. So that's going to be washing hands. When you get home from school, washing hands before dinner. The ways that viruses are spread is through respiratory and contact droplets. So those are things that are present on the surfaces of stuff. So making sure we have good hand hygiene. The other thing would be making sure that we're not going to school if we are sick. So if we're having fevers, if we're having symptoms, that's the time where we're most infectious and we're going to spread those viruses. So doing your part as part of the community to not continue the spread of those viruses.
What are some of the key symptoms that you would say, all right, you're probably going to keep the kid home from school? Fever?
Yep, so fever, if they're having, productive cough, if they're having a lot of congestion, runny nose, but fever is kind of going to be the main determinant, and that's greater than 104 degrees Fahrenheit is what we use for medical grade definition of a fever.
Gotcha, doctor. All right, I want to touch on this as well. If anyone out there is, saying, hey, I'm concerned maybe about this is more than just the average cold, obviously the Springfield Clinic has a ton of options for people.
Yeah, so we have a lot of same day and sick day appointments. You can definitely call our office and kind of see what's available. When you get a virus, it can eventually turn into a bacterial infection, and that's something we would treat with the antibiotics. Obviously, antibiotics wouldn't help treat if it's a virus, so sometimes you do need to be seen in office to kind of get that examination to say, hey, I think it's time for the symptoms to run their course, or hey, I think this is kind of turning into something that's a secondary bacterial infection. That's something that would benefit from a course of antibiotics.
Yeah, and a lot of parents, I think they think, oh, my kid's sick, I want to go get medicine for the kid. But sometimes it's as simple as hot soup, stay home, and drink plenty of fluids, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of kind of symptomatic care that you do, especially when you have kind of those mild cold type symptoms where it's just kind of runny nose, low grade fevers and stuff like that, where you have to let the body's immune system kind of fight off. And like you said, there's kind of those home tricks at home. Like you said, a spoonful of honey if you're older than a year of age is good for cough is another one too.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of different things that maybe your parents kind of helped you with when you were a young kid that sometimes those are the best thing, is just supporting the body the best you can.
All right, Dr. Belz, before we let you go, if anyone out there is watching and they want to schedule an appointment, learn more about all these tips and tricks, or just contact a doctor at Springfield Clinic, where can they go?
Yeah, so we have our new building out on the west side of Springfield. That's where all of our pediatric providers are located. There's a couple fish tanks, there's a slide, there's a lot of things for kids. That's where kind of all of our doctors and practitioners are located. And we have a lot of same day and sick day availability. So if you call this kind of upcoming kind of flu and cold season, we definitely should be able to get you in if you're wanting to be seen.
Dr. Belz with the Springfield Clinic, thanks for joining us here on this Wellness Wednesday.
Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today and don't miss a single video.